from my walk with Chong and stuff. I readjusted my camera because on my last stream, I guess my box was not my best friend. And I had a lot of problems with people hearing me, probably because the box was so far away. So I think this is better. I was glad that person brought up to my attention because I don't know what it sounds like on that end because I'm not on that end. But today's been full of surprises, and a lot of times, just because I see things doesn't mean I feel regret in my own life. And lately, I guess, with so many different people popping in and out of my life, and lately, just people popping out and then not seeing the people I thought I'd see in different ones. I guess speaking in riddles again, I'd be really good at Lord of the Rings, but I guess this whole thing with my youngest and me fighting and not talking, I always was on and off with my oldest son. Like we get in our little fights and we always make up. My youngest son's more stubborn. I mean, honestly, without my oldest son, I don't know how I'd get by in the world. Sometimes this world will eat you up and chew you out at times. I guess just on a voyage to see what I am in the world, live streaming, I've come to realize a lot of different truths. I'm kind of glad I do it because to sit and wallow, I think, is worse than anything. But trying to find out what you really can do or can't do is fun, and I do like the socialization over here. I like that everybody's nice. But I guess with just so many people just going in and out of my life, I just kind of got used to being in a comfort zone, and now I gotta come with realizations in my own life. I mean, it's good that positive people are coming back, but from 20 years back, it's like, wow. It's like people are just starting just to come up out of the closet everywhere. Maybe my friend Carla's right. Maybe there's a wave of good energy going around. I don't know. She swears by this good energy that's just going around and around and around. So I guess it found its way to me. It couldn't bring back my mom, but it brought back two friends that knew my mom and was thinking of my mom when they contacted me. You just never know how sometimes your life's going to take an unexpected turn, I guess. But I'm just because I can foresee some things doesn't mean I don't have my own karma circles. I probably have, I guess, since my energy, I'm an empath, my circle's probably more drama filled than anybody else's, honestly. I I just attract a lot of energy. When you attract energy, sometimes a lot of people gather around you at times, and you just want to get away and you can't. And it's true facts. I mean, some people are empathic and don't realize it. I believe Dr. Martin Luther King was an empath. People that could kind of like attract a crowd or just attract a couple people in a conversation and make people think are powerful people in the world. And powerful people are good with their words and they're good with their energy. even if they're not trying to do it at an energy level, their energy is just, it's like that and it attracts other people. That's how you get great presidents, great rulers, and everything. I'm sure that Julius Caesar and Queen Cleopatra had this kind of energy. They had, the one thing they all have in common is a big string of drama. Cleopatra had more love drama than anybody I know, really. Julius Caesar, I mean, his love drama was he loved Cleopatra and was married. So, and you figure, I know Julius Caesar at least had one son. He might have had two kids, I'm not sure. I'd have to, like, probably check on Google for that information, but the fact that history remains is that Cleopatra and Julius Caesar did have one son. So you figure there was tons of drama there in that karma circle. With great people in the world, they have great drama, I've noticed. Just like Bill Clinton. Great man, great energy, and a lot of drama. But greatness seems to attract drama. Because a lot of great people are sought after. A lot of times people wanna, they're jealous of them and just a lot of things. But honestly, you gotta learn what you are inside with yourself before you die, because it would be ashamed if you didn't find out who you really were until you died. So honestly, we're just on a path of in our entire lives of just always moving forward to find out one question. Then when we fully find out the question, a lot of times then we're dying. And on your deathbed, you just hope that you were able to do what you could do at the time. Go ahead, Chong. Walk like a cat. There you go. Good boy. Right. I have weird signals for my dog. I hope everybody can hear me. I'm trying to get my little thing here so people can hear me better. If you can't hear me, let me know. I have it on the bed, but I'm trying to prop my camera up a little also. So just let me know. But great strings of power are usually sought for with a lot of tragedy. Through anybody who had immense power in their lives of any time period, they've always had a great tragedy. And I feel tragedy usually brings about good people, because anybody that can survive a horrible tragedy and not turn bad are pretty much close to angels. Or, like I like to say, upcoming angels. Because that's a hard job. It really is. To go through like a bunch of hardships and still pick the side of good, even if you did bad and actually mean it and want to do good, that takes a lot of, it takes a strong person. And it really does. So, I guess, and I'm not comparing myself to any of these people. These people, I'm just one person that, wanted to see what I could do in the world, and I got to a certain age where I didn't want to go back to school, because I don't want to be always in school either. And I figure why not try live streaming because everyone else in the world planet seems to be doing it. You could do anything on live stream. I didn't know you could come over here and do tarot readings for free and just try to mingle, but I guess you can. So times have changed. But like I said, I mean, right now I'm just, I guess I'm struggling that once I like see my old friends and stuff, now that my circle's like, I guess, coming full circle from my past and future, because it always happens that way. Your past always, you gotta absolve your past eventually. And it comes sometimes, usually when you can handle it. Sometimes maybe I wasn't able since, after my mom's death, I kind of went in depression and stuff years ago. Maybe I wasn't meant to have full absolution until later on in life with all of that with my mom and stuff. That could be a possibility too. But I'd like to get all these things done before I die instead of worrying about what the possibilities are and this and that. And I'm not a person to sit there and worry about dinner because I'm married to a cook, so no matter what I do, he's not gonna like it. And this is the God honest truth. Because I call him Chef Ramsay, because you can make something and everybody would think it tastes okay, but he would not like it because it wasn't prepared in a certain manner. Because he runs a kitchen pretty much, and I would probably tell him off if I worked in the restaurant with him. So we would never ever work together because I'll stick to medical and he could stick to his cooking, and I never cook for him because I tell him all the time it's a waste of food. The animal died for no reason because you didn't like the seasoning, and you didn't like the way it was prepared. So what am I to do with my life? So I figured, maybe I could, instead of just nosing around YouTube like I usually always do, I usually find some on Netflix or HBO Max or something, but I always end up nosing back on YouTube. And it's like I've been doing this for so many years, I just figured why not be actually doing something on YouTube to give back to YouTube. So, the only thing I knew that I know how to do that everybody's charging for is these tarot card readings. And honestly, I have a job, so I'm not worried about making money from just something I see because it's silly to me, and I get to meet more of you guys. Because turning off my Facebook Messenger button was a big thing. I decided I just needed to have some freedom from all the scammers and stuff, and I just needed to meet new friends. So here I am to meet new friends, and I always give my friends free tarot readings. I just find it fun. So, oh, yeah. I swear, I think Alaska is here. Is that reading? Is it? Did I reading that right? Alaska? Oh, okay. You guys have the fun. You guys have the neatest nicknames. Alaska. I like that. Alaska scares me personally. I I think it's really pretty and I like the pictures, but the temperatures would I think would do me in. I can't take when it's a little bit cold here and I got severe anemia. I would have to have a whole thermal suit if I lived in Alaska. I really would. And I'm not sure if I would survive a bear attack. So I give you a lot of props if you're living in Alaska because it seems like a very barren country. And I don't know. The whole terrain is scary. It's very pretty, but it's unstable at times with those big cliffs they have, and then you have all that snow piled up. You guys are rebels out there. You really are. But I would say that I would think there'd be less crime. So I have seen YouTube videos about Alaska, and then I don't want to say the E word about the ones the I think the tribal people that have the teepees and the little the ice things, the ice houses. I always see those. I don't know the proper name. I know you're not allowed to call them Eskimos. And I get confused when they change names all the time. I think it's Native American. I don't know. But I give them credit too. They live in an ice house. I mean, I don't know if I could do it. So I give all you guys credit for living in these barren parts of the world because I think I would have not lived a long life if I lived in certain parts of the world. Or hopefully I was born without anemia if I was to be born in that part of the world. So I don't know. But did you have a question for the moon deck over here? I would be willing to give you one. I don't mind. I tried my luck earlier. I did get two friends. I made two friends. I don't know if I'll see them two friends again. Sometimes I see friends again, sometimes I don't. I mean, I try to be laid back and easy. I'm I just over here just to live my life and this is my social hour. And I really like editing videos, so I did make a video that I thought it was really cute of Chong. I did a Chong live for the moment. It was inspiration. I just put in my shorts. I thought it was really cute. I'm teaching him to look certain ways so I can tape him better because sometimes I want everybody was at my work sits there sometimes and they tell me, "Oh, were you trying to make him a show dog?" I was like, "No, but I would like him to do little tricks." I try to teach him to look a certain way, to not like my little yarn thing that's holding that is he's laying down. I teach him that not to get really rambunctious when streaming. I don't know if I can get him to do the cool things some of these dogs are doing, but I would settle for just maybe one or two interesting things at this point. But I'm getting there. But I had fun making the one video I made today. And I made another promotional too. Because I feel when I do my hair, because I had to take three braids up here and swirl them around and then put these back and then I have to do certain things with the mousse and everything. I feel if I gotta go through all that effort I might as well do a promotion for my page. That's a lot of effort. I don't know if I could do hair and makeup for a living. I used to be a model when I was younger, and it's a pain getting up and doing that sometimes. And I figure if you're going to go do all that, you might as well do a promotional thing. So I thought today's promotional thing looked pretty good. But the only thing is, I smoked a bowl before I made it. So I'm pretty sure I look half wasted in it. I didn't mean to look half wasted, but I'm pretty sure I did. But you know what? Almost everyone over here smokes weed, so I'm sure there's some people that do, but some that don't. A lot of times before I stream, I'm coming off work or yada yada, and I'm getting out my medical marijuana and I'm getting high. That's the bottom line. I'm relaxing because life is stressful. You got all this weird, stressful things happening in everyone's lives, just not mine. The world does not revolve around me. Everybody wakes up with these weird things that out of nowhere happen. You know what I'm talking about, Alaska. You know. It's like you just be like, what? You'd be WTF every morning, just something crazy, random craziness. Your keys are moved. This happens, that happens, or it's none of us can escape this. Or just last minute, somebody you thought was doing okay wasn't, and chose like made a real bad decision, and you're just like, are you kidding me? I mean, these kind of occurrences will happen your whole life. And I thought when I got a little older it would stop, but it doesn't. Because young and old can have drama. They can have, and you would think older would not have young love drama, but they can have sometimes more love drama than younger people. As weird as that sounds, it's insane, but it is what it is, I guess. I'm just talking truths here, and it really is. People at every age are always out looking for one another. And if they get hurt and everything, they people go through a hibernation period, and then they're ready to find someone else, and then we do. I mean, this is what we do. It's their patterns. Human beings are very sociable beings. I believe that's why dog and cats are very sociable, and so are dogs. I feel that's why dogs and cats get along with humans so well. I honestly do, because what's the one thing that makes humans depressed? Not having no one around. And they used to do these incredible, very cruel experiments. I'm not saying I approved of any of them. I was not alive in the time of World War II, but they used to take these babies. Hitler did. A lot of the medical research came from World War II. I mean, the Nazis weren't in the best frame of mind, but they were not stupid. Let's just put it that way. But they used to take the babies that were born, and they would feed them, but some would get held and some wouldn't. And a lot of the things we know about babies and how they have to be nurtured and everything and held is from World War II, because that was the war where technology was coming to be. He was doing barnyard experiments on humans that was not allowed. If it wasn't even allowed in wartime. I mean, let's get real. He just what are they going to tell Hitler? No, Hitler was Hitler. He was going to do what he was going to do. So he did this, and he experimented with painkillers. Like a lot of the pain stuff we have for like surgeries and stuff is from World War II because he was experimenting with morphine and stuff that they had for medical research and stuff. They a lot of people I know, like when they did heart operations. I think the first one was on it was either a dog or a pig. It was a transplant, but I guess Hitler was extra special, and I do mean that in a sarcastic manner. So, are you okay, Chong? Chong, are you alright? Chong, you alright? You got a nightmare or something going on over there? Alright. He's getting a little bit jumpy, like he's having a nightmare. Alright, let me put this back over by my belly again. Alright. But anyways, in these troubled times of these kind of wars, a lot of things do come about. They do, and wrong or right, these are when rules get, I guess, bypassed, I would say. And they did come along with a lot of different stuff that happened. And it did shape the world we're at. Was it wrong that it was humans? Most likely. It was it was wrong. But I mean, maybe it was meant to come about for a reason, but from every bad activity comes a good activity. So I guess the end result of that was we have really good treatment where if you had to go to surgery, you wouldn't feel any pain. The bad part is morphine and different drugs like this was discovered. And honestly, I mean, it just led to one thing or another, but would have been discovered with or without this? Probably so. I guess it just takes the right kind of people, I guess, in your life and a certain part, I guess, self control to live a life that these kind of things don't affect you. Oh, homemade tea is the best when you're not feeling good. I'm just starting to get to feeling better. I've been like I was real sick. I was so pale I couldn't barely even get out of bed. So I didn't do a couple streams the last couple of days, but I'm feeling better. I'm getting back to work tomorrow. A lot of my work friends probably be happy. So I got a lot of rest today. I've been trying to eat good. I've been making my little homemade teas because those have been helping settle my stomach. So I urge you guys, if you don't feel good, just make just a plain old Lipton tea if you can't get to the store or whatever's the issue. Any tea is fine. And I just brew it and put it in the fridge, and it saves so much money and it helps you when you're sick. It really does. So, but I did get a hold of Brandon, my oldest son, and I did tell him about my two friends that I seen from my childhood. But of course, he had to mention my friend Heather, and he was just like, I hope it wasn't Heather because he talks to his uncles, and I don't like my Uncle Mike at all. He's two faced. Anyways, he's two faced. And even when I was younger, he's had so much money, so much money. And I asked him for diaper money when Brandon was little. He told me no, and I had a job and everything. He's like, oh, sometimes you gotta go without money. And this was him teaching me a lesson. So I guess I've learned through my travels in life, you just kind of gotta watch people, I guess. Because I do. I kind of just watch the people that treat me good and don't treat me good. And the ones that treat you good, you find out why and if it's fake and if why it feels funny. Because honestly, if a situation doesn't feel right, generally it's everyone has this intuition. It's like our primal instinct type thing. When this goes when we were cavemen. In our primal instincts, we have two, actually three. Sorry. One is obviously for food and survival. The second one in our primal instincts is for reproduction and finding the one female that's, I guess, more alluring to you and with the correct pheromones. That's another primal instinct you have. And then your third primal instinct pretty much is social. You have that primal instinct to have a baby, and you have that primal instinct to gather. And a lot of times when you're gathering, and when you're providing a food service, you're hunting. So our primal instincts from when, millions of years ago when we're evolving was hunting. And when a situation isn't right or an animal was near, they're it's like their stomachs, like I get it in your stomach, but you just like get a weird sensation, someone's watching you, or you feel weird. That's telling you a situation's not right. And that stems from your hunting instincts from when our ancestors were pretty much coming into existence. So my suggestion is to listen to that. Listen to your inner voice, I guess, because your inner voice is the one that is telling you the truth because it's talking from your inner instincts. And these are things that usually work out for you if you listen. And there's circumstances, I guess, if you're kidnapped or something horrible's going on where you just can't get out, you're just going to have to try to do what you can do at that point. And I hope this doesn't happen. But I'm saying these drugs they're horrible. All of them. Different. I mean, I don't understand the lore of them and why you would want to be up for 10 hours anyways, because you got to make a living. You got to go to school, you got to get a job, you got all these things you got to do in your life. And if you're doing a lot of drugs, not good. You can't accomplish like almost all your goals if you do this. I mean, if I was on heavy drugs, I would probably eventually lose my job, I would assume, because I'd call off and things would be going on wrong in my life. Then I would might not be able to perform my job. Then I'd forget details. And I guess eventually you'd become addicted. I think maybe it takes longer with some than others, but I don't know for sure. I'm not an expert at this, but I would say that's what happens in my aspect of looking at it. But none of it's good, and it seems that people just try to use people. They try to use people because they're trying to protect territories that they don't own. I mean, sometimes even this country doesn't own certain territories in this country. So, I don't know. That's the way the world is. All right, let me get my glasses back on now that I see somebody in here now. Oh, hey, Rave. Oh, ooh. You guys have interesting names. I need to get myself like a really cool nickname. I really like that. I mean, I just have basic everything I have in my life. You got you guys have some cool stuff going on. You guys are way cooler than me. I just got a bunch of grunge going and that's about it. But did you want a reading? I think it's Rube. Is it Rube? Okay, it looks like Rube over here. Would you like a reading? Things have been going better with Joy, but they still are 50-50. I can't really tell if I'm doing enough. I don't know if you remember me or not. Um, Rube like too. Okay. I like it. I think I remember you. Isn't that the girl where you guys were broken up and or you were like on the breaks or something and you were seeing if you wanted to get her you asked me if you should get her birthday present. I think am I that is that the right person? Oh, okay. I'm pretty good with detail because I have autism. Sometimes I remember weird things like details like that. But don't ask me what I ate for dinner 5 days ago. That I can't tell you. I might be able to tell you some space shit, but don't ask me what kind of some how to. Don't ask me to open a tap or something. All right. Okay. I just want to know how she been feeling about me. All right. Did she start calling you again after her birthday? I mean, before she wasn't. From if it's the same person, she wasn't contacting you for a minute. She was over a friend's house or something. But I'll do that. Oh Lord, here's my friend Jamie again. One of my childhood friends that just popped out of nowhere. But let's see how she's feeling about you. Let's feel her situation. Let's do that. Let's do the love situation for this lovely young lady to see if there's anybody else involved or if she's thinking about anybody else. Now that's the main thing here. All right, for her loved one, she got new moon in Pisces, and the prior situation, she was thinking about everything. Thinking could be good or thinking can be bad. And then her present was, that makes sense. She got a first quarter moon and it's commitment that's being tested. So I guess your guys off and on, this is her proving if she's going to be with you or not. So that makes a lot of sense. And then for her future of her love deck, she got a full moon in Leo. She's she's not humble, pretty much. And she has a lot of things that she wants in the world, I guess. And that's what's getting in the way. She has a lot of vanity and stuff going on. So, I mean, but that's in the future. I mean, everybody in their 20s have been vain before. It's the part of the 20s. I mean, it's what we do when we're 20. We're getting the perfect hairstyle, the perfect everything, the perfect boyfriend or girlfriend. So, okay. We've been seeing each other and now talking now, but she still has her moments. Well, people are. I would ride it out for what it is. She's 20, she's undecided. It's not like she's in her 30s. I don't know if she's in school, but she's in a period of her life that she's trying to find herself. Women try to find themselves all the way to their 30s, and then sometimes in their 30s, they're still finding themselves. I mean, it's just a thing of life. It seems, I don't know, that men are maturing quicker than women now. I don't know. It used to be the opposite when I was growing up. The men would mature slower emotionally, and we would be more likely to do that, and now it's the men. So you got to give her a chance. Let's see what she's doing, and you want all this stuff done. Now that my dog is over here, but now that she's kind of in a part of her life, just let her do her, and and go with the flow and see where it ends up at. Sometimes that's how love is. You just gotta go jump in the sauna, go in the hot tub, and see where it leads you. And sometimes you gotta leave the hot tub. I mean, it's horrible to say, but sometimes it's like that. And I mean, I've had three major loves in my life. And do I regret any of them? No. It was what was going to happen at the time. I mean, you guys are meant to be at this time. I want to say that you're going to be together forever, but it might not be. but enjoy the ride. Maybe from here you meet someone else eventually. Maybe you don't. I've seen couples that I thought were going to break up, and they've stayed together for years. And then there's people that I thought would never get together, and they do. Sometimes the opposite works, sometimes meeting in the middle works. But I think it's all destiny, and it's like playing poker. Cards is literally like playing poker. Every once in a while, you get a full house. That's when you actually find someone that's good. And sometimes you don't. But I guess if you have something that you're always working for and you have other interests in your lives, when all the love guru stuff comes in and out of your life, it gives you a sense of accomplishment just doing one other thing that represents you. See, my thing would be I feel that you have stuff you want to accomplish in your life. I mean, we all do. I mean, obviously, I have a couple things I want to accomplish, but maybe start taking some of your goals that you've been wanting to do and start trying to accomplish them. And it doesn't have to be artistic, it doesn't have to be anything crazy like live streaming like I'm doing. I'm just doing this because I'm trying to be I'm trying to do my writing thing, and I got to learn to talk to an audience. But that's what I want to do is be a writer. So I'm doing this, and I figure it's a good start. But I feel that you want to do something in a technical field, and maybe if you start kind of like moving on with that goal, I feel that sense of accomplishment with just the distraction with that, everything will fall in place, and you'll worry less about one thing, and it'll put you in good financial standing. Because I feel that you're gonna have a child. I don't know if it's gonna be a boy or a girl. I just see a baby, and I do see one. And I'm not saying that this girl is bad or good. I'm just saying that it could work. I feel that it could be a good match, but I can't say it's going to be your match forever. But I do see a baby in the future, so I'm saying I don't know if she's going to be the mother or not. She might, but maybe it might be a bad idea to like maybe check into that technical school, kind of like I did. I went to school and I got one. I didn't get a nursing title. I got STNA because I wanted to try to do my book thing. But I mean, they have lots of different titles you can get in schools that are less than a year, and a lot of times you could get a grant, or you can have a budget after you graduate. Then this way you're guaranteed a good salary. But I do see a baby in your future. I do, and it could be with this girl. I sense she's a good person. She just has to get her whole self awareness together. And we all do. Every once in a while, I gotta do mental awareness check with myself. I, it's just a fact of life. We all do. Nobody's perfect. I'm not perfect. You're perfect. You're not perfect. The only thing perfect in this universe is God. I don't know God. God doesn't come to Chong the dog, so If he not coming to Chong the dog, then he's not. I don't have anybody perfect here. So, well, I feel there's one coming. I don't know when, maybe in a year or so, but I feel that there's some kind of school you guys were talking about. It was like a certification class. I think it might have been something around like electrician or plumber or something. Something with houses that could be very beneficial, especially if you're having a child, because that's a guaranteed job and you'll have the chance to get decent insurance for the mother and the child then. And then you'll all be in the same house, which will make life easier. So, but what I do pick up from this is to move in slowly and don't be too pushy because there's something holding her back, and I believe it's not another guy. It's something about her past where she doesn't think that she's worthy. She has low self-esteem. And it's kind of gets in the middle of a lot of things. She's a good person. I believe she would be a good mother, and that's a good thing. There's no drugs or nothing involved. It's just literally she just trying to figure out life. I would just take it slow, flirt with her a little bit, and just literally just let her name the relationship. Just don't be pushy. Just say hey every once in a while. Bring her flowers, and just give her her own self worth. Yes, and she should have more self confidence. Well, see, after the second time talking to you, I think this is why I'm getting more clear reading. But yeah, she has a lot of. That's what makes her pull away. It's because of her low self esteem. She thinks she could do better, and she's scared, and she doesn't think she'd be a good mother. So that's the other half of why she keeps pulling away from you. So I mean, I don't know what you could do to get her over that, maybe, but I would go slow and maybe just reassure her that you're still there. I would try that. I think that would help a lot. So I would start with that and don't scare her off, though. She thought I could do better. Well, see, sometimes I could be very intuitive. But yeah, she's gonna keep saying that because she wants you to be happy and she wants to just move on with her existence and not be with nobody because she doesn't think she's a good person. For the way. Well, that's good. Just keep doing that. I would just keep going doing that, and it's just eventually she'll come around. I mean, it's gonna happen. But at least she's talking to you and everything. Maybe she'll start, if she has physical relations with you, just try not to read more into it. I don't see her seeing anybody else because she has enough problems seeing one person. And she's very unsure of her life period. So I don't think cheating is going to be her problem. It's going to be her self confidence in the end. So I would definitely just take it slow and just tell her you care about her, but you're giving her distance and time, and and then and I feel like there's some kind of promotion that somebody wanted to give you if you get a certain license, like a professional license. What that it has something to do with like what my son does. Well, one of the stuff my son does, fixing houses and stuff. It's something like that. Maybe even explore something like that. Because my son went through an apprenticeship, and he just knew someone, and he like I would show up and do so much for this guy that owned his own business. So I was building houses, and he ended up getting his internship thing done for carpentry and stuff. And you could do that by working, making a little less, by getting a side job, and once you get it, you can make a lot of money. And I feel why that would be good for you. And you could tell her that you're preparing for you guys' future. And I think that would be positive and kind of romantic. Because I do feel there's going to be a birth. I know there's going to be a boy, but there's going to be a boy and a girl. So it's either going to be paternal twins, or it's going to be I know it's going to be a boy and a girl. I do feel this. And if you get a step ahead on this now while she's going through this transition period, then I feel that eventually she's going to come around and have full commitment. And then that'll be about the time that she gets pregnant. So, and then you can have lots of money. And you can tell all your friends about Chong the dog, and that I could give your friends advice. Wouldn't that be nice? I'm just joking. But yeah, I would definitely do that, and you're on the right path. But just don't be pushy, because she's literally like a deer. You get those headlights and those really sharp lights in her eyes. She's gonna be skittish and run away, and you don't want that, because then she's the type that's gonna get in trouble and get herself in a bunch of other trouble. Well, that's good. But she just kind of she's a free spirit. She don't give a damn, and she goes out there and gets herself in trouble. And that's just her. That's what she's gonna do. That's kind of how I am in a way. I'm a free spirit. I'm just gonna go and do what I do, and that's it. It's not gonna be damaging when she does it. She just has to go and have things presented in front of her, and she wants to earn things. So, but she's gonna come around. I mean, it's gonna be a little while. It might be a month or two. So, I think about. She misses you, and she thinks about you all the time. And the breakdown she's having is because of her past. It's somebody. It's a like a family situation, and a past. It's something with her past with her parents, and somebody that she was with for a while that wasn't very good her, and she's just, and it bothers her a lot. I do sense that. It has nothing to do with you. And when she has these breakdowns, she don't know what to do with herself. I mean, it's a shame she doesn't write in journals or something because it could get some of her feelings out. So, if she could get her feelings out, I feel that it would be more beneficial. But not everybody does this kind of thing. So, but it's all because of some kind of thing that happened in her past, I'm feeling. And it's something with her mom and her dad, and there was some kind of death. I mean, I don't feel it was one of her parents, but somebody died in her family that really was close to her. And she wants to get her life together. And she just doesn't know how. That's all I'm picking up. It was like, oh, well, good. They do work. People think they're stupid. Those journals do work. I like to, I mean, if I'm bothered by something, I usually write a poem, but I'd write in journals too. People don't give journals enough credit. I'm glad you're a journal person. We're two minds that think alike. I write down all my thoughts. But I guess if she ran out crying and if if you're bringing up the relationship and she's crying, it could be she's just not ready for a relationship right now. Maybe start redirecting the question around. I would say I would ask her, I would maybe start with more direct questions and maybe just say in a nice manner, just ask her if she cares about you directly and then see her response. Because maybe you could get something out of that. Because if she's running out crying, there's something about the relationship, having a relation that's bothering her altogether. And I would just maybe just start, like I said, I would start being more direct and asking her about other things and say, I'm concerned about you, I'm your friend, but do you like me at all? I mean, I don't want to pry too much, but is there a physical relationship still, or did that end? Because if you guys are still kind of having sex and stuff, there's still somewhat of a connection. So, and usually those are when people aren't completely ready to let go too. Well, then that's good. She's still having sex with you. I wouldn't worry about it. Maybe just keep reassuring her that that you still care about her. It seems to me that you already have a relationship without saying it. If she's only sleeping with you and you're only sleeping with her and she's crying when you mention the relationship, she's pretty much saying that she cares about you and she feels bad about making her mistake. Because if she didn't care about you, she wouldn't be sleeping with you. I'll let you that's just from a woman's point of view and a human point of view. So I would just start, I don't know, I would just let her go through her little phase and just keep having sex with her. And maybe this is how the baby comes up. Because you're doing all this love and stuff, and you got all this love going around, and I think that's when the baby's going to pop up. We've been doing relationship stuff like we were playing. She just been. And when you're going through emotional trauma, it can bring down the strongest person. And I have emotional trauma from time to time, and I'm a pretty strong person. So, honestly, just let her go through her thing. I go through my thing all the time when my. I've been married for now like close to 10 years. And I still go through emotional trauma. My husband leaves me alone at certain times. When my mom died, I went through a lot of emotional trauma. A lot. And I still do to this day sometimes. Sometimes with my ex husband, I have emotional trauma. And it's going to hit you at certain times. You could be with the love of your life, and you could have went through a domestic like me, and it's terrible. I just miss her. Well, maybe just text her. Just, I mean, it's not overdoing it. I mean, I do so many hello posts and at good afternoon. Just say, I'm just texting you good night and I just wanted to make sure you were okay. I mean, every friend does this. I have friends that do that with me and we're not together, obviously. So I say just go ahead and text her and say you're just concerned about her. That's what I would do. And even if she's going through emotional stuff, she's gonna appreciate it. My one friend, my sister Katrina, is going through things and she hasn't spoken to me for like 2 months. And then I randomly text her, and then because I had a piece of glass that hit my head, it was really long. You don't have to worry, I was not dying. I had the ninja man that was playing video games. He said it could have went in, but he was being over dramatic. But I texted her about the glass anyways, and I haven't talked to her for a month because she's been going through emotional trauma. And she texted me once in a month, so yeah, just do that and just be real. Just don't get over wordy about it either. Just say I just wanted to say goodnight, and I just care. Just like, and it's, I would, if it was me, if I didn't even know her, and then, and just to be nice, I'd say something like that. And I'm not even involved with her. So I don't see anything wrong with that. That's just being nice. And I hope to talk to you tomorrow. I feel like, well, I'm going through your problems with you, and I like to, check up on, let me know how you're doing tomorrow. I mean, this kind of thing can be really hard going through by yourself. I know. I've been through all kinds of trauma in my life and tragedy and dealt with all kinds of bad people, so I'm here for you. And you can go lay down and let me know how this text goes tomorrow. And I'm rooting for you, and I'm hoping she's not like Katrina and she'll text you sooner. And I mean, she's not as stubborn as my sister. So that's good. Oh, well, thank you. I know it feels lonely. I know. I have felt lonely in times in my life. That's why I understand when it's good to be alone and when it's good not to be alone. When you go through certain things in your life early, you learn these procedures, and I've learned them all. I really have. And it has shaped me into a strong person, so I don't take back any of the stuff, which most people would be horrified, but I'm not. But as people would say, I'm riddled with tragedy. But I always came out on the good end of tragedy. I was the daughter of a Vietnam vet, so. And I'm 50 years old, and I've been ICU, and I had medicine to make me younger. It was either they told me you die or take this experimental medicine. I took it, and here I am. So, I mean, life is crazy at times. And lonely could be bad and good. If you're lonely, you're thinking crazy thoughts. Sometimes you could be lonely and be doing constructive things. That's why my parents always told me to get a hobby or start school or do something when you're lonely. This is why I'm up here live streaming. I think it's important for people to stay connected in a world of technology. If you don't have that common thread, I feel that it's just, I don't know, it's just not good all around. I feel if we lose that, we lose part of our humanity. We got to know how to reach out and actually talk to one another. And it's so basic. We've advanced everywhere, but in that little tiny corner of the world, we have not. But I feel we could. We just got to learn to talk to one another. And I feel that the world would definitely be a better place. So, and I'm here to talk to people. And I'm the queen of tragedy, it seems. I've been in ICU, I've died twice. I don't know if Jesus hates me or loves me at this point in my life. I'm willing, I thought hate or dislike, but I keep coming back every time death comes upon me. And I come back stronger each time. So I don't know. These things I couldn't tell you. But I know I'm not going back to school to be a nurse. I have a husband that's a workaholic, so the only way I know to help people is to talk to them. Oh, I know you do. Because you're a giver. I call your kind of people the givers. They're happy when they're giving. My husband's like that. He's sensitive and he wants to give. And he feels happy to the more people that are around him to give. This is how givers are. And if givers get really depressed, they get isolated. When they get too isolated, they get to the point where they get upset and then they start getting depressed. Well, yeah, that's because you truly love her. That's what happens. That's what true love's about. I mean, I've blocked a lot of that out of my life where I could feel love, but I guess I don't let it rule me or my decisions because I'm able to block some of it out. Because I've come across a lot of people that manipulate you with your emotions. But I've been in some unique situations where you had to be like that. Oh, you don't know. I don't think she wants you to do anything. I think she just wants to figure out things out for herself. Honestly. Sometimes at the end of the day, you gotta figure out who you are all by yourself. And honestly, I went through the same thing. So, my husband can't help me figure out who I am, only she can. And depending on how she goes about doing things, is honestly the how the process is going to happen. She wants to do it alone, she's going to do it alone. She has free will. That's what I'm saying. Maybe just start doing something of interest that could get your mind off things. My son, when he was going through heartache, he started making coffee tables, his crazy ass. He would take the wood from these tree trunks, and he had a whole workshop in his basement before he met his wife. And he was putting glass on these things and making wolf prints on them. All this because he's a giver and he loves giving, and it bothers him to be. He likes to be in love and he likes to give and he likes to gather people around him. This is what he is. So he just called me and said, Mom, I'm making coffee tables, and he was thinking about selling them. I think it took him a damn 6 months to do one coffee table. But it had a wolf on it, and then he gutted it out. I'm like, geez. I've been using work and gaming to try to just see. There you go. Gaming will do it. My husband does live streaming. I mean, he does live streaming on Twitch. He's Dark Angel the Fall. But do what he does. I mean, I don't know. I don't think it's that hard to get a Twitch account. And I don't know, do you have Xbox? I think you could do that you've been thinking about doing as well. Yeah, I don't know if you have a PC. I My husband always says it's better. He does like Dead by Daylight, but doing Call of Duty. But he's been streaming over there. I think you could stream through Twitch on both PC or Xbox or the PS3. I think I got those systems right. It's one of the three, but if you got a PC and a gaming PC, you can go really far in your streaming. But I will tell you that he bitches about those killers because I guess on Dead by Daylight he says they have a lot of perks. So he's been going to Call of Duty, and he said that the PC players, I guess they have more advantage. See, I would just start streaming from my PC. He says that you got a faster response and it's easier to game with a PC. He has an Xbox, so. But the PC players, they kick ass on all these games. They really do. But you could you could go on your PS3 too. I mean, it doesn't matter. I think they're all the same. I mean, he usually plays Survivor. He has played Killer a couple times, but he's not. He's a giver. He's not, and givers like to be survivors, and they like to be the one that saves everybody coming out from the party. But that's what he does in his life, so. But that's a good distraction there, and that can get you extra money. And he's made a lot of friends on his streaming adventure. He talked to these friends as he's coming in from work, and they start games all the time. And he has a lot of distractions right there, and he has a lot of fun. And honestly, like, my younger son's not talking to me, and it's been like a year or so, but he talks to my older son. Sometimes you gotta let things kind of fix themselves. I haven't talked to my younger son for a little bit, but my older son keeps on tabs with him. But sometimes you just kind of gotta let people, you gotta let other things take care of the situation. I mean, as long as you guys are physical and you're able to talk to her and at least keep tabs on her, I would just keep with your little video game and stuff. That would, and do that. I mean, not. I don't know. My son's insane in making coffee tables. He actually sold one for $800. But that's my son. He's very eccentric and weird in that way. Most people would. And I'm done with her. Well, I thought you liked her. Why are you done with her now? I'm just saying, I would feel out the whole situation. If you have no one to sleep with at this moment, and you're both having sex with each other, it's not beneficial to just end it like that. And I'm just saying, I hear, oh, you don't want her to feel like that. Okay. I'm sure she doesn't if you're mentioning a relationship. I would just I would just be nice and ride it out and play your video game. I mean, people eventually always come along. I mean, she's sleeping with you, and there's a reason for that. If she didn't like you at all, she wouldn't be sleeping with you. Because that just adds to, she knows it adds to where you would want the relationship. So deep down, she somewhat wants to keep that option open. That's why there's sex involved. So that's just fact. You don't have to be psychic for this. So I would just look at it as long as you're in the game and as long as you're getting some, try to comfort her and just be there in the end and make sure that the sex still continues, and you should be fine. Because then you have some connection there, and then the relationship's going to come together anyways because the sex is there. That's why I tell people, if you really want to take a vacation and just be away and work on yourself, don't have sex. Even though people say sex with benefits is nice, you can separate it, some people can't. And if there was a relationship involved, you can. It's inevitable. If you were together and in love and you're still sleeping with one another, you're going to be together again, even if you try to separate if you're still having sex. So, honestly, you're going to get back together. Eventually, at some point, she's going to get through her crazy stage, and she's going to want to talk to you again like that. That's why she's keeping the channel open and making sure you don't have sex with no one else. Because this is what women do to make sure that they're actually making sure you don't have sex with no one else while they're trying to get their shit together. So I would just keep it going and just see where it goes because you need sex. I hear this because I have two sons and I have a husband, and I hear all these male things where these males say they need their sex all the time. And it's a part of your guy's nature. So, and at least it gives you some kind of connection with her. And with her having sex with you, you know she's not having sex with no one else. So, I mean, I know it sucks, but at least you got something. You're not like the my poor friend I haven't talked to. It does suck. Yeah, my one friend, she was with this guy. I think she's God, India. Yeah, she's from India. And she broke up with this guy, and they were supposed to get married, and they broke up with over a religion issue, something like that. And the family didn't want her and him to get married, so they was going to get married, and now they can't because of the family. And she's very heartbroken. So, I mean, she going through some rough times. I have not heard from her in about a month, and I'm kind of worried about her because I feel bad, and I guess at times they have arranged marriages over there also. So I don't know if they're gonna fix her up with someone else, her parents, but she got a little more problems than we do in the world. Let's put it that way. That one there. I was talking to her, so hopefully it works out. And I was talking to one girl from China, and she was getting married, and I guess they do have arranged marriages there for sure. And she didn't want to get married because she didn't know the guy, and I don't blame her. So yeah, it is horrible. I've heard a lot being up here as a streamer. The girl from China was very upset. She didn't know what kind of husband he was, and they could, if they smack you around a little bit and all that. It's so strict with all this arranged marriages. I don't know if you could even say anything. I'm not sure. And then you have, then I was this, and then I did a reading for someone in the Middle East, and she was really upset about her husband to be. I'm hoping they didn't get married. So some of these people don't have options out there, and they got to get married, and I feel horrible for them. At least you could play video games and still have sex with your person. It's not a lot of drama like some of these guys. Some of these guys are incredible situations I would never want to be involved in, and I feel terrible for them. And I try to help them out as much as I can. I hope she does. I don't have an answer for that. I just have an answer about her self esteem. I mean, on questions of free will, I see she's upset and she's crying. She's looking at the phone. I could see that. I'm not sure if her free will, she's thinking about calling, if that helps. But then again, free will's gonna tell her her own free will, she's going to where she isn't. But That's kind of how these kind of things roll. But I do see her by a phone crying, if that helps. And she's looking at pictures. Yeah, I do see that. And she's looking at pictures of you. I do see that. I mean, I can see that, but I can't predict if she's going to call or not because she has. I mean, the universe is free will. So if she doesn't call it, she want. I mean, obviously, if someone's crying and looking at someone's picture, obviously they thinking about it. Maybe whatever's bothering her really is bothering her, and maybe I don't. She's just got a lot of emotional issues going on, and emotional issues can be very bad. And I do feel bad for her. I really do. I feel really bad for her, like I do that lady in China with that arranged marriage. They both have emotional trauma, but I think hers is the lady in China's worse. Is she thinking of calling? I mean, she's looking at your picture in the phone, so she's thinking about it. So, I mean, that's good. Okay, what is this? Well, I get above 40 marks in audit exam result. Is that good? I mean, is this an exam you took in school? I don't know what 40 marks in an audit exam if it's bad or good. I don't even know if I should be happy or sad about this, I guess. I don't know, enlighten us about these 40 marks. And then I can let you know if it's congratulations or not. But she is thinking about calling you, and I do see her crying. I'm hoping she does, but I mean, that's totally up to her if she's going to call or if she's not going to call. At least you've seen her, and at least there was some kind of physical activity going on. So she's still there. So I guess that's something to be hopeful about. And I'll probably be back tomorrow about, I don't know, I get off work at 3. I do gotta go there. I don't want to go to work. They give me a lot of drama there. It's it's exhausting the drama I get there. It's just I walk in there and I can't wait to 3 o'clock to be gone and done with. So it'll probably be at least around 6. I try to come in like I'll like come in these streams a little later when I feel people are done eating their dinner and stuff. So okay, now I got a message restricted. I don't know how it was restricted about his 40 marks on an audit exam. I don't know. They restricted the silliest things around here on YouTube. But I'll be up here probably, it's probably going to be around 6. I get motivated around 6 o'clock. Because I try to wait till a little bit later. So I'll talk to you tomorrow, and I'm going to try to get on here around 6, 5:36. And then the husband, he usually gets off between 7 and 7:30, so it gives me plenty of time to be on the stream. And I'm gonna be praying for you and the lady friend, and sleep well, and just try to, I guess, be happy and keep your hopes up. It has been really nice talking to you, and I'll talk to you after work tomorrow. And you have a good night, and keep the hope up. And I'm hoping she calls.